Happy Gurupurnima to all, and today on this auspicious day of Gurupurnima, I would like to talk a little bit about the various gurus that who have guided me in my life. However, there are many gurus who have whom I have come across in my life and who have guided me throughout life. But I would like to mention a few and pass on my gratitude to them for their teachings and guidance throughout my life. First, of course, my parents who have guided me about the values of life and keeping relations and a lot of things, so that is forever until eternity. But I would like to mention a few people who on this day, starting with Dr. Dharap, who was a surgeon in our college, and when people would ask him difficulties, he told us one very nice thing about asking questions or difficulties. He told us that before you ask a question, have you tried to find out the answer to this question? Because if you ask me a question and I reply to you, you will get the answer very easily and then you will forget it, because anything that comes easily is evaporates very easily. But if you try and find out an answer to that question on your own, you will have a few more questions to ask and a few more answers which you will find yourself, and then you will have a few more difficult questions to ask me, and I will be in that I will be able to answer those more difficult questions. So this was a very big learning curve for me, because after that I started to find out answers to the questions which I wanted to ask, and if I could not find the answers, then I would approach him or any other teacher in future. Second was Dr. Bhatnagar sir in anatomy again in my first year, and when we were trying to remember the names of various bones and muscles and all those weird names which we had heard for the first time, he would stand behind us and he would hold his head like this and would say, "This is not the way you should learn. You should know why femur is called a femur, because it is thigh in Latin. Humerus is called a humerus because it is humerus means arm in Latin." And that is what he told us, that everything that you learn has a meaning. So don't learn just for the sake of learning. You have to understand why something is done and with what purpose. So I will always be indebted to him also, because that also changed the way I started to understand and study further. Dr. Humranwala ma'am has been a big source of support and inspiration by the way how she worked with us during the Materia Medica project. She guided us how to study Materia Medica from source books, how to gather information from various source books, how to make it very organized, the way in which you should work as a team to understand different things and not individually. So it was a very great experience working with her. Also, as the Vice President of IHP over the years, she supported and encouraged all the youngsters to talk on stage, and I was so lucky to be one of the students whom she guided on the stage, and she was the person who kept the slides for the overhead projector when I was giving my talk for the first time. Also, her way of carrying herself or managing the clinic, keeping beautiful quotes in the clinic, are many things which I have learned from her. I worked in the clinic with two of the great masters in homeopathy, Coincidentally, both of them were Dr. Praful. One was Dr. Praful Barwalia sir and Dr. Vijayakar sir. Dr. Barwalia sir, I have seen as the most conscientious, most hardworking and honest homeopath, and from him I have learnt ethics of working and a completely different way of case taking from Dr. Vijayakar sir. He would never ask questions like, what is your nature? And please tell me something about your nature. He would ask the nature of father, nature of mother, nature of boss, nature of sister, nature of whoever is in the family, nature of your junior. And from that, he would perceive the nature of that person, because he said how you perceive others is basically your nature. So this was a completely different approach to case taking and understanding a person and his nature. So that is something that I have learned from him, and fortunately I have been in touch with him over the years. I have tried to be in touch with him, not as much as I would have wanted, but definitely he has been a guiding force for me. Of course, coming to Dr. Vijayakar sir, he has been the biggest influence in my life and on my practice in general. I would like to talk about him in details some other time, but today I will tell you in short that from sir what I have learned is his conviction for homeopathy, his die-hard love for homeopathy, the way he rigidly followed Herring's law of direction of cure. I have never seen anybody doing that ever. And his observation skills were, I think, one of the best. He would observe things which others have not. He would crack jokes and observe the patient. When others are enjoying the joke, he is observing how the patient is reacting to the joke and come to the remedy. So while others are enjoying something different, he would be observing at the same time enjoying. And the best part about him is that he enjoyed homeopathic practice, and that is what I have learned. You can practice homeopathy only and only if you fall in love with homeopathy and if you can enjoy homeopathy. Just reading, just sitting next to somebody and taking cases is not the way to learn homeopathy. You have to fall in love again and again every day and then enjoy homeopathy, because homeopathy is the best science, but you need some real good teachers or gurus, and if you are lucky, then you are on your way. Thank you and happy Gurupurnima to everybody.